Hey there everybody, Matt here from Matt's Trains and Tractors. Yesterday I picked up a brand new locomotive and today we're going to be unboxing it, doing a complete in-depth review as well as a whole entire running session of that new locomotive. Let's jump right into today's video. Alrighty, so here I have the brand new locomotive still in its box, so let's open it up. As you can see, here are the details on the end of the box, but we'll go over all of that in the in-depth review. So as I remove the locomotive from its orange packaging, I would like to make note that I've already stated this, but some people may not or may still be surprised that this locomotive was what they call a display locomotive. So this was on his display shelf. Now, when it's not in the box, it collects dust. So when I take this locomotive out of its styrofoam packaging, you may say, oh, that's kind of dusty. It doesn't look like it's straight from the factory. So I just want to avoid any confusion or surprises. It is still a brand new locomotive and there should be no errors inside, you know, like the electronics with the locomotive. So yeah, let's take this off. Ah, look at that. That looks like an awesome locomotive. I surely can't wait to try it out. But yeah, I mean, as I'm holding it, it's got nice weight to it. It isn't too heavy. Yeah, no, this is really cool. Alright, I'm going to put it on the track, and then we'll get into a more in-depth review. Alrighty, now that this locomotive is on the rails, we're ready to do a complete in-depth review. Right now, we're going to take a look at all the small details and everything that is great about this SD70ACe in Norfolk Southern paint number 1030. Alright, so starting up front, right here at the pilot, we have an electrocoupler. I'm so happy that Lionel was not making kinematic pilots back in 2018. You guys know how much I hate these things. They really just get on my nerves because they make all of my cars that don't have articulated couplers, they make them all derail. So I really hate the kinematic pilots, and I'm glad that this is their old-fashioned pilot system. So yes, thank you very much, Lionel, for not inventing that in 2018. Moving up, we have the really nice yellow handrails. I really just like how well the yellow contrasts with the black and white paint on the locomotive. And over here we have ditch lights that will oscillate when the horn is fired. So these ditch lights up here, these little silver rings, those are always awesome. Up here we have the sand dome filler cap for better traction when the locomotive is going up steep grades. Lionel always does a great job with real life detail. There is no sand on O-gauge, however it's there in real life. Some nice separately applied grab irons, and up here on the number boards we have number 1030, the headlight, and I believe these are illuminated when at idle. Moving up on the cab here, we have a really nice rain guard, or just a windowsill as some people would call. This kind of hangs over and protects the conductor, and there's one on the other side. It protects the conductor from any rain, so once again, Lionel's doing a great job with this detail. A nice movable mirror here that actually does swing around, and these windows do open and close, except with the pipette that I use as my pointer. It's hard to make them close. It's the best I can do. Inside the cab we have a hand-painted figure, and the cab is illuminated when the locomotive is stationary. Down here we have legible words that say under warranty, the number 1030, NS, Norfolk Southern, and SD70ACe, which is the model locomotive. Moving along the side of the locomotive, we have really well detailed for legacy locomotives. Great ventilation here. I have seen a few SD70ACe locomotives in real life when out rail fanning, and I do recall there being ventilation on this side and here. And we also have legible, I'm not going to zoom in too far because my camera cannot focus at that focal length. However, these stickers here, these warning labels, are all legible. So Lionel did a great job there. And also the detail on the trucks down here. This is a 6-axle powered locomotive. Those are all very nicely detailed as well. So the whole face of this locomotive here, Norfolk Southern, is shown very nicely with nice white paint to contrast with the whole black body. These separately applied railings on the catwalk Also very nicely done. And one thing that I always like to point out is that there are no smudges of paint on this locomotive. Everything is very legible, and there seem to be no manufacturing defects on the exterior of this locomotive, which I'm very pleased about. And then a full-size fuel tank. When I say full-size fuel tank, on some Lionel locomotives, they'd actually make the fuel tank smaller. That way there would be more room for the trucks to turn. So as you can see, the trucks, when they turn in, because this is actually a curve that I placed the locomotive on, it's just the easiest spot for me to do a review like this. The trucks, when they curve in, they add more length to the locomotive underneath, so this kind of sticks out. So when you make the fuel tank shorter, you give the trucks more room to bend, and the locomotive can go around tighter curves. So that's how Lionel was able to market the locomotive for younger people. However, here they really did not skimp on that. This locomotive does have a full-size fuel tank, which I'm very grateful for. So thank you, Lionel. A lot of good things come in 2018. How about that? I missed that year. Up top we have 2 rotary fan blades, as well as another one over here. I will show an up top view or a bird's eye view in just a second. If the camera can pick up the shadows here, we have very nicely detailed and transparent screens on the fans, or the engine would be housed down there, and for ventilation. But yeah, all of these vents are very well done. Everything on this locomotive is very well done. For a legacy locomotive, I'm very impressed. Lionel, thank you very much for coming through. And that is the Lionel Legacy Norfolk Southern SD70ACe number 1030. I hope you enjoyed this segment of the video on the review. I'm going to show a few more angles of this locomotive, and then we're going to fire it up and run it around the rails. Alrighty, so here's the bird's eye view of the locomotive that I promised everybody. I'm sorry if it's not picking up the shadows well on the camera. I do have my light in a funky spot. It is a pretty tight corner over here at my pop out in my train table. But yeah, I'll just go around the locomotive. We'll get a nice view of the back. I really do like the long hood section here. Also a nice chain on the crossing. And then up front for a head-on view, if I can reach. There we go. Super cool locomotive. Let's get some power on the track, a consist behind the SD70ACe, and get it running around the rails. Alrighty, now with power on the rails, a programmed locomotive, and a decent sized consist behind him, let's fire this thing up. Alrighty everybody, well there you have it. That right there is Lionel Legacy Norfolk Southern number 1030, the SD70ACe. This locomotive is an awesome addition to my layout, and it is a Norfolk Southern engine, so you already know what that means. We're going to be doing some crazy yard operations and lash ups. So if you'd like to see those, definitely be sure to stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button for more. I had a lot of fun filming this video, and I can't wait to film more videos involving this locomotive to share with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching again. Be sure to stay safe and stay tuned.